I am Mohammed Najem from Ghouta. I am 15 years old. My father died in the war in Syria. Do I have to work in the street to get the money for going to school and learn? هي فاطمة الحسن من حلب. تصوبت بجراء قذيفة بهدر أحد أطرافها. ومات أبوها واستشهد بالحرب. أتمنى فاطمة توجه رسالة للعالم.
We are in the Istanbul with Mohammed Najem. He is the young journalist from the Ghouta, Eastern Ghouta, now in Istanbul under protection of the Turkish Red Crescent.
جينا لهون ما بروح على المدرسة لأن نحن ما عرفنا نعمل كتب طيران جينا لهون على الجامع ما وصل القصف بهون
I want to live my life. I missed to get education.
Yes. How long have you been missing your education, or because you had to go to Turkey and you were so young?
5 years. I missed 5 years from my life without education and just learning English. I really want to go to university.
Oh, and you should. You should. You're so clearly so intelligent and so capable.
Hi, Mohammed. Very nice to meet you.
You too. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
Thanks for accepting my invitation to talk with me.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, as you know, I've watched the previous interview of you, and so I know a little bit about yourself, but maybe you can explain to people watching who you are and what you've done.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is Mohammed Najem. I'm from Syria. I'm 19 years old. I born 2002 at the Eastern Ghouta in Damascus countryside, and I was 6 years old. No, it's 8 years old when the war started in my country. And at 2017, I actually started documenting videos about the war. It was actually a small kind of taking some videos to friends of mine and some people who suffering from the war. And it was really, complicated to do such a thing like this. And I was like 15, 14 years old. So it really was hard for me, but actually, looking at the suffering of people, that's what makes me do such a thing like this. And actually, that's what I did and started 2017. So it was my beginning at this kind of thing.
And now you live in Turkey, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm living in Turkey, yeah.
Are you still able to somehow document what goes on in Syria?
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I'm trying to do my best to continue doing this, and I wanna show the world how my people are suffering who live in Syria and who live out of Syria. And I'm trying to get some videos and documents from my friends in Syria and show it to the world. So I'm continuing doing this for my people.
I think that's a very good thing, a very brave thing also. I try to do the same through writing. So I think we share the same goal, and that's why I want to ask you, why do you think that's important to use this peaceful tools. I call them peaceful weapons, like writing, using the camera and stuff to inform other people about what goes on. Why is important to you?
Well, I consider that words is more powerful than weapons. But this is it's really hard to think even about it because some people don't listen to words. They just seeing action. They just care to see a bloodshed and all of this kind of pain. So I sacrifice to show the real picture about what's going on in my country. I believe in words can fix the community and my people. And I trying to show that we are not tourists. We are just people who trying to survive in this war. And I'm trying to show him the reality by my words because I believe that words can achieve peace, not weapons. Weapons is just for conflict and destruction and all this. So I don't believe that weapon can do as same as words can. So I believe in words. Words is really strong weapon, and we can fight by words.
Yes, I agree. And can you tell me a bit about how you came to Turkey? Did you live in a refugee camp or did you go to?
Well, first, when I displaced from my city, Ghouta, to the south of Syria, which is Idlib, the city is called Idlib, it was it's really hard for me, and I couldn't continue my education in Idlib because it was really hard. And the same, like in Ghouta, it was bombed and missiles, and were blind in the sky. So it was really to continue my life like this. And also I lost my education for a long time, so I would have planned to displace to Turkey to see my life. I have maybe I have a chance to be more effective in the world to help my people. And actually that's what I did. I tried to contact with the Red Crescent in Turkey and some organization to help me to get out of Syria. And actually that was happened. They take me out of Syria for Turkey. It's about 3-4 years from now. So when I came here, I started learning English and trying to get some other skills by online courses to develop myself. And I actually said that's out of school. It's really hard for me to be out of school and seeing other children, living the school adventures and all of this, and just I'm looking for them. So I tried to just learn English for developing my job and sacrificing my life to help my people at least, for giving him the chance to live and talking about their suffering. So I see English is the language of the world. So because of that, I tried to learn it, and that's what I did.
Yeah, I did the same. I'm Italian, but I tried to learn English. Yes, you know that I really admire what you do. I think you're a very inspirational young man. I told you, but I want to say it again. And also, as you know, I went to Turkey last month, and I've been with this Italian NGO, which is called Support and Sustain Children, to a refugee camp close to Adana, quite close to the Syrian border. So I got the chance to meet many young people and children from Syria living in really desperate conditions in the camp. And I know that I fall in love with people from Syria because even if they didn't have anything, they were very welcoming. It was my first time there. I couldn't speak Arabic. I can just say like, I don't know, a few words, just basic. But they were very welcoming, and they always made sure I was comfortable and it wasn't too cold for me, but they were barefoot, so it was like I'm in love with your country and its people. Yeah. And also want to ask among all the videos you have done, all the stories, there are some stories which are particularly close to your heart?
Well, actually, a story it's happened with me when I was in Eastern Ghouta. It was the last days living in there, so I was in a shelter with my family, some part of my family, and the people over there, and some people close to me. And it was at night. I couldn't sleep because the bombing, it was every second. So it was really hard for me. And at that time, I lost my uncle. He just listens at his house burning by muscles. So he just get out of the shelter to have a look up to his house, and a bomb. The plan bombed the area again and get a small iron in his body. So he just blood and he didn't survive. He's still in the shelter for about 8 hours. With his family, he have like about 9, 10 children. And it was really hard for them to see their father die in front of them. And his wife was burning, so she wanted to get the baby soon. So it was really hard for me, and still with us for 8 hours, and then he passed away. So it was really heartbreaking for all of us. We couldn't save him because there's a lot of destruction and rubble in the street, so the ambulance cannot come and we cannot go out because there is a blinding sky, and it was really hard to see him saying the last words, which is "Take care, I love all of you." So it was really heartbreaking for me. I couldn't do anything. I was just a kid. I don't know now if this repeat with me what I will do. Maybe I'll sacrifice in my life to save people, but at that time I wasn't have to. I cannot do anything for him.
I'm so
Not
sorry.
anyone.
I know it doesn't mean anything, but I'm really, really sorry because, there are no words for such a stories, I think. And I also have noticed also like in the camp, and this organization does everything they can to bring, I don't know, food and the material for the school and stuff like that. But I see a lack of psychological help because often there is no time and there is no money to invest also in psychological help. I don't know your experience if you want to talk a bit about it, because you have, as you have said, you have to face many harsh things, and then how do you deal with that?
Well, actually, when you live like 7 years in a city that's surrounded by people want to kill you, you will lose the feelings and will be without the heart. Just you have to survive every day, have to face a new things. So, well, actually, I deal with all of this by. I was thinking that I will not get out of my city, so it's will be the last days of my life. So, what should I do? I will die at the end. So, I have to deal with everything every day. This is normal thing. So, it's actually everything was there. It's just become normal for us because killing child blood and all of this kind of thing, it's become every day, every hour. So this was become normal for us. We lost the feeling of seeing people killed and all of this because we was knew that at the end we will die. So sooner or later we will die. So because of that, I we become very strong about dealing with this kind of problem. So what we have to do is just running, and we lived in shelter for many days. Uh, Actually, my family is poor family. It was at that time, and all people over there in Eastern Ghouta, because there's no work, there's no jobs or any kind of thing you can get money in, and we just trying to eat anything is like like animals food or whatever. We have to survive. It was really hard, but we have to survive. So it wasn't the big thing to eat, animals food. It's just embarrassing, actually. Uh, so I deal with that with sometimes, trying to make the action funny to not, see us like we are in the third world countries. So we deal with everything.
Yeah, Yeah, I honestly can't imagine, because I've been very lucky. I always say I've had an easy life. I've had problems like everyone do, but not these kind of problems. Also, when I went to the camp last month, it opened my eyes. Even though I have another charity, my own organization to support young people with cancer, so I was already familiar with very harsh things. But these kind of things, yeah, yeah, it's another kind of a hardship. And I know that you are a colleague of mine because you are a writer as well.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. What can you tell me about your book?
The book. Well, actually, it was a different kind of step in my life, which is I actually started with a reporter. She called Nora. She from United States, so she helped me, and we wrote it together with Julia. She is an artist, and my brother. So we're all together and write this book. So I really have to thank them for all of this. And actually, it started when Nora comes to Turkey, and an idea comes that we write a book about my life and the life in Syria in general, and some kind of stories that's with my friends. So, and we start talking about it, and she talk about my stories and all of this, and it's about 1 year, 2 years uh, ago when we started, and now the book has come out.
Yeah, which is the title?
What do you mean?
The title of the book.
The title is The War Reporters, the Syrian War Reporter book.
Yeah, yeah. And I also know you've been part of creating this book.
Angelina Jolie, right.
It's not available in Italy, but my sister lives in the UK, so I asked her to send it over to me because I'm interested, as you know, in human rights and stuff like that, so I wanted to read it.
Well, actually, I was on vacation to Syria, so Angelina contacted me, and all this, has happened. So I made 2 interviews with her, and she told me about the book that she want to write some stories about children and who climb in human rights and children rights and this kind of stuff. And I get involved, so it was, it really was amazing feeling to me. And I have a bad connection to internet when I was in Syria, but I tried my best. I go to my friend's house. He's a journalist, so I get internet from him, and I talked with her. So it was amazing moment to talk to her, and some kind of children also defending on human rights, and I was pleasure to meet her. She's truly amazing person, and we discussed some kind of problems that our communities face nowadays, and all this kind of thing.
The book is about the children's rights, you were saying, and I think it's a very important topic because in the video that I watched, the video with Angelina Jolie, you were saying now, you say an important thing about how children in your country don't know about your rights. And I also noticed that in the refugee camp, of course, I asked this person, Ariana, if they know about their human rights, and she said no. They plan to teach them in this sense who works at school, but at the moment they don't know their human rights. So why do you think it's important for children everywhere to know them?
Well, actually, rights is a right for everyone, and those children, the ignorance is become so high in our community, and people they don't know anything about their rights. Just living that, considering there's no rights as applied for them, just living like a normal people, and nothing will happen. Even though, this rights is just kind of words on paper. And actually, they have to know this rights because they will give him the opportunity to develop this and get it in any way. They don't have to live like this. They don't have to be out of school, and this all of things is they have rights in this life to live for. They have to define for them rights and get it. it's not fair to see a child out of the school, while the world is need for those kind of people to study for developing their countries. And my country is really needs children, educated people to develop the country and build it when the war will end. So I see that we have to tell those children about their rights. It's really important. At least they will grow up, they will know that they have rights and they have to get it in any way. But now they are nothing. They don't know anything about it. So I see it's really amazing book that Angelina Jolie did to let those children know their rights and climb in.
Yeah, I've read the book and it's very informational. I don't know if it's an English word, informational, but we got it. And it's full of information. And I think, yes, also in the camp, I've met many people, especially many girls. Most of them were married off like at 13 years old, and they just have a baby after baby after baby until they're old. Basically, a woman my age, it's a grandmother over there. So it was kind of, I know some these things happen, but to see like they were like sitting there just waiting to be married off with nothing to do, with nothing in their eyes. I remember asking a 15-year-old girl from Syria who was living with her mother and her little brother who got cancer. So it was another situation. And I asked her, what do you want to do? What do you plan? What do you wish for the future? And she looked at me and said in Arabic, but I understood nothing. She was dead inside. And she maybe thinks, I don't know, I got the impression that many of these kids feel like, I don't know, if you look at me, okay, I'm here, but if you don't look at me, if you don't care about me, it's fine, I'm used to that.
Well, actually, because of ignorance, maybe most of families let their child or girls to get married because, you know, they will get money or think about this kind of stuff. So I really, it's really hard to think about it. And like 15 or 18 years old, a girl married for a 13 or bigger man, because they don't even know how to cook. So it's how they can deal with all of this, especially in the war. This girl have to study, have to build herself. It's not fair to marry now. It's not the age for marriage. It's just a teenager. I become actually, you know, I don't understand. Some people actually climb by them rights, but they don't get anything. While other people they don't climb and they get everything. As it's happened nowadays, some racist people, telling that about the Ukraine and Russian war. They saying that we will receive the refugee who have blue eyes and blonde hair. I don't know. I didn't understand how our world become. It's not just a racism, but also we have a rights. We are a human too.
Yeah.
So if you want to climb in human rights, the rights is not just for blonde people or who have a blue eyes. The war, I hope that will not happen in another country. I know what the war mean. I lived 7 years in a city surrounded by enemies want to kill me. So I know how the feeling of, you know, displaced immigration and living without food, without necessities of life, without you know, medicine and all of this. So it's really hard, and I really, you know, care about Ukrainian people. They deserve better than this. They don't deserve to their countries be in war.
Sure.
They have to live their lives as anyone live nowadays in Europe or whatever. I didn't wish to see a war happen between Russia and Ukraine because I know the crimes of Russia and what they did in my country, how they killing without caring. They just want to see the blood in the earth, and they are monster. They are monster. So I'm really sorry for what's happening in Ukraine. I stand with them, but I'm really feel sorry about those people who racist people who just want, you know, to do and say racism words. Why? We're all a human being. Ukrainians, Syrians. It's a war. We didn't choose to be a black or white, blonde hair or black hair, whatever. So I really feel sorry for those people. They have to go to hospital to check their condition. I really believe in this.
Yeah, yeah, okay. And also, on a lighter note, besides working with Angelina Jolie on the book, did you get any other kind of recognition for your work?
Well, actually, if you mean money or this kind of
No,
thing,
no money. Like, I don't know, any award, being featured, I don't know, in some important magazine. I don't know.
well, yes, actually, some about just Guardian, I think, and this kind of a newspaper, but it just was my story in the book, so there's nothing else. I appreciate this to give me this opportunity to be in the book and talking about the human rights and children rights. I really interesting to support those children and people who suffering from the war and everything, even if it's not a war and families or torture or whatever. So I really stand with those children who don't know their rights. They really deserve a better life for them. Even my life is destroyed, but I don't care for myself, but I care for those children. I don't want to see what I see in the time. So they deserve a better chance. And I think this book is a little bit a small chance for them to know their rights and climate buying. And they don't really live in bad conditions. I think. Yeah, good share. Those children, they don't have any chance to leave. They don't go to school. They don't have the necessities of life. They don't have an internet. They don't have anything connecting to the online world. And they live in just like a tents, just rubbish tents. And and in the summer, the sun, in the winter, the
yeah, I've been in such a camp. We were staying in Adana, but we've been to the camp. I've been inside the tents. I've been in Turkey, but in a camp.
Yeah, actually, it's really hard to see those kind of there is who have also blue eyes and blonde hair.
Yeah, many
But
of these
like
children are really, really beautiful. Also, I've noticed they're really beautiful children.
they live in the camps. Why those racist people they don't talk about them? Why? Because they are Syrians? It's not fair. So actually, I was visiting them and do some interview with them. It was really, they just wanted people to talk with them and play with them. So actually, I played with them for some like an hour, and it was the most beautiful days to me over there. They have injured children also. I couldn't help anything. It's really sad to see them. Children, they cannot go to school. They have, infected in diseases. It's really hard for them. And they don't have internet. I wasn't have, to make a live or whatever because I don't have an internet. The water is really disgusting. And they don't have money. They don't have jobs to work. So it was really hard. Like, you cannot just, become sad or crying over there. They don't want to see you crying. They will feel like you feel. So I just smile and trying to make some funny jokes and whatever to make them happy. And it was really hard for them. When we go in Syria, you will find camps in Idlib. When you want to go, there's camps because the people cannot offer a house for them.
Yeah. Also, the camp I've been in Turkey, it was like that basically, and I spent 1 hour like playing with the kids, like these kind of games. And also, basically, also it's so sad, but they're also so inspiring. Especially, I've noticed the kids up like until 10 years old, they don't really get it, and then when they become teenagers, they actually understand what is going on, and this becomes more hard, of course, harder. So yes, but honestly, I see it again. I fell in love with the Syrian people. Them being very kind to me, and honestly, dress me bad because, as you were saying, they are human beings. They are not guilty of something. They're just escaping the war, like better than me. So why do we punish them? because it's a punishment to live like that. They're innocent, they're just escaping. So that's what drives me mad, because we should invest in them. We were saying, me and Ariane, if the war in your country would end tomorrow, many of these people have lost years of education. As you were saying, it wouldn't be so easy to rebuild your country or any other country after a war. So we should invest in people, not just throw them in a camp and leave them, you know?
Exactly. Well, actually, it's not fair to see them. Actually, I didn't choose to displace from my city. I didn't choose to be a refugee in this kind of camps or in the Europe or whatever. But the war that makes me do that. I lost my education. I lost my father. I lost some of my friends. I didn't choose this. But what should I do? I cannot do anything. It's really hard to see nowadays all the world trying to move for Ukraine, and they don't move for Syria or Iraq or Afghanistan, whatever. And my country in the war for 11 years. It's not 1 or 2 or 3. It's 11 years. Those refugees nowadays they're living the worst days of their lives. They deserve a better chance to see the future. What's the future for them? They don't get education. I don't know what they will be in the future, and I don't know. You know, you can it's very easy to manipulate in their minds and become a terrorist in the future. We don't know. So it's really important to educate them. We have to give him the opportunity to study, to work for them. It's just children. They don't deserve to see this. I don't know how this world works, but it's really hard for me. So actually, as I feel in those children, I feel for the Ukrainian people. They also deserve a better chance. They don't deserve to be in war. I know what the war is. So I don't hope for anyone to be in war. All have to live in peace. But those racist people, I don't know how they think.
Yeah, I don't know, because I honestly think the world is completely, the human beings have completely lost their mind. They lost focus over matters. You know, they're playing with lives, like this life is more important than the other. This country can be bombed. I don't know. The pandemic, we were somehow getting out of the pandemic, more or less, and now there is this war on top of the other wars.
Yeah, actually, the world becoming crazy, and those racist people are the same who climb in the human rights. That's what makes me crazy. You want human rights, also those are human. So I don't know. So I will stand with everyone who have suffered from war or whatever. I will stand with them. But we have to see the peace in this world. We have to achieve that. I will work harder to see those people live in peace.
And I also think what regular people like us can do is to join forces like we're doing now, like, you know, connecting with each other from other countries. I also saw your videos with other young people, like you were saying, the girls, I don't remember from where they were, from Africa, and I don't know, the UK, maybe, the other girl. I don't remember. Anyway, the young people you talked with. So maybe if we work all together, adults and young people who share this mindset, of course, and maybe we grow bigger and bigger and bigger, we can. I think it's the only way it's the moment for people to stand up, honestly, for their own rights, but also for the rights of other people, and to focus, I think, because I see a lot of people focusing on being popular, social media, and, you know, this kind of stuff, which is not really important. We can use social media in a good way, but it's not, of course, the focus. So I think that's why I do what I do, because my job is to be a ghostwriter and a writer and stuff like that. But I also do these kind of things because it was matter to me. It's the important thing for me. And so I came up with this idea that we should all work together and try to stand against the racist people and the politicians who wanted to drop bombs and stuff like that. I think you agree.
Yeah, actually, and the book ideas is the same. That if we work together, we can become bigger in the future and achieve peace in this world. So we have to stand and put hand to hand, and, you know, fighting for our rights. So if we do that, believe me, we'll achieve something in the future.
Yeah, we have to hope at least. We have, yeah. The last question, then I'll let you go. What do you hope? What do you plan for your future?
Well, actually, I don't know. I'm out of school and I cannot go to university. I don't have a passport to travel. Leave the worst.
Yeah, that's crazy
but-
because you're such an intelligent young man, I say it again, and it's such a waste for us, for the world. I mean, that you can't be properly educated.
Exactly. So I'm trying to educate myself, self-education, as about taking some courses, online courses, develop myself, and work harder in this kind of job. And I don't know what I will become in the future, but maybe I'll be the war reporter. I don't know.
I wanted to be a war reporter when I was in middle school, because I've always loved to write. And then I ended up being a writer who travels to those places, so it's pretty close.
It's a good job, actually. I like it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. But I have also bigger dream I want to achieve. I will go for it. Maybe it will become true. Maybe it's not. But I believe in a saying that it says that put your dreams in the moon. If you don't reach to the moon, absolutely you will reach to the stars.
Yeah, that's fine.
I put some big dreams for myself, and I'll see what the future will come to me.
Yeah. Again, it's been such a pleasure talking with you. And don't go away now. I stop the recording, but I want to say proper goodbye, so don't go away. I just stop the recording. And again, it's such a pleasure, and I think you're a very, very, very young, smart young man, and I think people can listen to you and really open their mind and open their heart and understand that this is the moment we can really join forces, and for each of us to play our part however we can, in a small way or in a bigger way. But everything is important, I think. So thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to meet you and talk to you.
Yeah. We'll then meet someday when I come back to Turkey. We'll meet in person.
Exactly. I hope so. Well, why not?
Yeah, I plan to visit Istanbul next time I come. So I will let you know. Okay, have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.
Take care.